Thank you very much, Nomad, coming into this upper bracket final. Liquid and PARIVISION, they've got the Kunkka safe lane, which Satanic, at least according to the Dota buff, he's only played twice, and it was on the same day, won both games.
Yeah, during Rally. It's a bit of a new tech. I think some other teams also showed. He talked about Heroic playing it. It is a very strong hero. I also want to point out something about Satanic, because he's the guy that has the least deaths so far in the tournament, averaging 1.55 deaths per game, which is pretty insane. And this is the hero that just doesn't die. It's very difficult to bring him down. You have Admiral's Drum, so health threshold is 65%, that damage delayed. And this is also, I'm going to say, one of the fastest farmers coming out from the safe lane, coming out from the mid lane as well. Sure, you get those extra levels because of that solo XP, but the hero really, really excels. And the Radiance build does allow you to stay in the fight longer. It also does allow you to one-shot the creep wave, which is really nice. So you don't have to wait 3 more seconds, 4 seconds on Tidebringer. That's the cooldown, but you don't have to wait it out to hit it twice, so you actually can one-shot it.
Yeah, and Satanic naturally, I mean, on any hero he plays, feels like one of the fastest farmers in the tournament as well. And then to go to the offlane for PARIVISION, DM, who has a 71% win rate with Enigma. I mean, this guy barely loses with this hero, and he's up against the TA and the Tinker. How is he supposed to fare against this double T lane?
Not the... Like, there's a good amount of AoE that deals with Eidolons. You have Repair Bots, March of the Machines, you have Melt Strike as well. He did go for Void Blade, so that extra Side Blade split damage will be also affected by Meld, which is really nice. They don't have much HP on Eidolons. They do have a good amount of magic resistance, but their HP is relatively low. 9 class, again, this is his signature hero as well. These position for Terror Blades, position for Slark as well. It's all about that vision. It's all about removing and being annoying, and this is what he does best.
Trying to remove that vision, trying to play aggressive, but we've seen 9 class in the past play greedy, sometimes a little bit too greedy here and there. But he kind of gets away with it. And is he looking to just solidify himself as a 4th core for the side of PARIVISION?
Usually he doesn't. Like, we've seen game yesterday when he was playing TB, basically rushed Nullifier, which is something you don't see every day. It was the first Nullifier pretty much on the hero, and he rushed before any other item. He also had very interesting itemization yesterday on Tinker. He went full greed with Kaya, Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter. I don't think we're going to be seeing that type of a greed. So more about the control, I would say. I like what Saxa does on his position for Slark with drums, with Yules. Vox is in trouble.
Yeah, might be first blood. Will freeze over. That gives an easy first blood here for Satanic. Somebody you really do not want to give up first blood to. This is just, like you said, a pretty quick farmer, but in Satanic's hands, it feels like any rate of farm just gets doubled.
Yeah, he has the highest GPM in the tournament, highest KDA, highest XPM. This guy, last hits per minute, pretty much everything. Creeps denied. He is numero uno in pretty much every statistics when it comes down to the carry position.
Damn. Yeah, had that stint with Spirit. Now here with PARIVISION, he has just made himself fit in so well. And they really know how to use his presence. He's not afraid to get involved in early fights. So we'll see what happens, because especially maybe get an early level of X where you can be involved through the Twin Gate or something like that. TP or Twin Gate, you don't need X. You could just go, and he's not afraid to make that move. And now, Bounce, Leash, mid, Nisha in trouble as he might die here, but he throws out another static Remnant. No one has Burrow Strike, and that will connect, meaning they have this kill on Tanisha, and it's 2-0 in favor of PARIVISION.
Insania tried a TP, but he got Malefized by Enigma, so that didn't come through. This is also power of Enigma. Your position 4 can go around the map and try to get stuff done. DM still getting good amount of denies, good amount of CS, sitting at 20 and 6 right now.
Refraction doesn't last long against all these Eidolons. It's tough to deal with. But like you said, they will kind of fall pretty quickly here to these two heroes. They've opened it up over mid. They got a kill over in the bottom lane. And now Insania is in some trouble again, but throws down the repair bots. Ducalis falls, but ends up trading his life for Saberlight in the bottom lane. We've seen some masterclass performances from Ducalis. I mean, the one that always sticks out to me was that Warlock game in Belgrade. Satanic now on
Good
the
body
chase
blocks
for Boxy, and
has boots of speed, can run him down. One more hit is going to do the trick.
Saberboy comes back in, but there's nothing he can do. The TP's just a little bit too long, and Satanic, even by himself, knows he's got the damage. And again, now he's involved in 3 kills early, and you know Satanic's going to take advantage of this.
Oh,
For
for
the
sure.
side of Liquid, though, Beastmaster has felt so strong this tournament. What does Saberboy do to kind of make up the ground that he might be losing in this lane?
He's going to need to go back to some stacks, but this is also Beastmaster that doesn't have points in Wild Axes, and you're also playing against against Kunkka in the lane, who does have phase available, so that's going to be extra damage. It deals really well with your summons. It's quite a lot of damage, and he's never going to feel threatened. I also love the fact that he's putting more points into Cold Feet for the combo.
Collis is dead again. Just Ancient Apparition, not that strong of a hero. Getting pounced.
If you're playing on the side, you get bounced. Any repositioning tool, any summons, this is something that he doesn't really deal well with. Insania making his first move. Satanic does have an Admiral's Rum ready. Double blood grenade.
They really wanted to get this kill. They missed the dead shot, though. And he just
Still wouldn't be enough. There's just not enough damage when you proc his Rum. Maybe next time they're going to be able to kill it, but also you can see that Satanic, he understands the matchup, did have Healing Salve immediately to use it. Big winner of this one, I would say, is no one. He got a little bit of a help from Slark, but is doing really well.
Ace-Rune is actually top. Will be left for no one, who's got his own phase boot's going to look to refill that bottle, and using all that mana for the ball lightning to go bottom and not get that rune means that you can't really go for the other one here for Nisha. And they're going to try and make this into a move over in the top lane. They don't have Black Hole. However, at least for the moment, they will have a little bit of lockdown with the Barrel Strike and the Malefice.
9 class.
Exactly
He's coming with the TP.
Epicenter, Refraction. The damage is starting to pile up. They pounce, they leash, they kill. The calling's not enough. So now you've got these
Boxy.
Eidolons that are doing so much damage to Boxy.
He's also
It's
dead.
going to be a +1.
This is also going to be a lot of damage onto the tower. They do have drums. This is the item that you buy on Enigma immediately. DM dipping no one. This is the kill without even using Black Hole. So with the next Black Hole, they could also potentially threaten a kill. Templar Assassin is a bit of a harder one to kill immediately, but if you have your Eidolon split with Slark on top of him, you could also be able to maybe even get another kill.
Shrines one apiece. Okay, already backing off into the jungle, and these lanes will open up because Beastmaster will do the same eventually. They'll get back in and over to that side part of the jungle. That leaves Kunkka free to farm, and DM's already level 6. Like, his game's going so well on this Enigma.
Managed to kill the tower 7.5 minutes into the game, which also means that he can park himself in the bottom lane if necessary and be that guy who's going to be defending the bottom lane. Can also rotate to the mid lane. Nisha is looking for something. These are not easy kills to get.
He's under vision too. A new ward that they just placed there. They don't have a lot if Boxy lands a dead shot. But there's an obs placed. And immediately 9 class pings it out.
4 heroes from PARIVISION, making sure that they're going to be picking up that rune.
Standing on top of that shield rune.
Couldn't even see it.
No. I had to think for a second where it was. But they still have this vision over mid. They move DM back over to the top lane. They've got the shield rune on to no one if he wants to make a move again. Won't be as quick as he was previously with that haste rune. They do have Black Hole. Do have a pounce leash afterwards. Burrow Strike to control here for the side of PARIVISION is quite strong. Gotta wonder what Liquid are looking to do. Maybe work with this early Primal Roar. They do have that Helm of the Dominator ready on Saberlight. But Storm Spirit not off to the best start, as he is about 1,000 gold behind no one.
So Storm Spirit needs to play with either your offlaner, who does have that helm, as you mentioned, or you need to be paired up with Boxy. Boxy deals good amount of damage, has that calling, extra bit of a silence, and now no one's going to go into the triangle. They've been heavy on the stack duty. I would say throughout the whole tournament, these teams do stack a lot. A little surprised that Liquid usually, because Liquid usually is one of the teams that stacks the most.
The top stackers. But currently behind a little bit. Beastmaster not really getting many stacks in that off lane, and Mika is trying to farm, maybe make his own stacks while he goes back into the jungle.
Yeah, PARIVISION actually is the team that stacks the most. 18.5 stacks per game. Team Liquid sitting at 17.1. Third on that list.
But very close, numbers-wise. They do have the Storm over bottom. Let's see. This is a tough kill, a tough ask, and they go to the black hole immediately. The calling's down, the silence is there. The Ice Blast is off the mark. Also use that ghost ship, so a lot used to not
Ancient Apparition ulti as well. This is where you say nice try, and you go back to farming. Calling. Maybe he thought he was out of range for it. So they are gonna need to wait out. This also opens up the map for Liquid, knowing that 3 ultis have been used, so this should be bottom tier 1 tower. No one has his Blink Dagger ready. Arcane Rune as well. Plus a Shield Rune. They're controlling the runes really well for him.
Yeah, he's gotten every single one. He's gotten all those power runes. Storm's been unable to work with them. And we'll see if there's any defense anywhere. I mean, you get this tier 1 tower bottom for free. There's really nothing you can do on that. You send Satanic back to farm. He wants that Radiance, and no one top of the net worth. He's fine with the farm that he's getting right now, but he'd love to use this Blink Dagger to add on to it, get a couple of kills.
Wants to use Arcane Rune, lowering the cooldown.
Yeah.
Should allow him to get maybe another one. Saberlight, usually Beastmaster is where he starts controlling this area of the map. Maybe he tries to steal some extra creeps away from Satanic, but this is very, very deep.
Epicenter and the Ice Blast coming in. This should be an easy kill on a Saberlight, and it will be. The Ice Blast helping out, but no one gets credit for that kill. Using that with the Arcane Rune, and now Epicenter not on cooldown for that long. And he's also switching off. Initially, he was looking Yules for a second, and then switched up tags.
Wants to scale more. We'll see what the itemization is going to be, because you still need some kind of a defensive tool on Sanking. BKB always going to be a good one. Sure, there is one BKB piercing ability that's going to be Beastmaster's ulti, but still, you want to have some kind of protection. And Boxy again. This is the second time I see him do the same thing with Tranquil Boots. He's disassembling, assembling them constantly. A lot of work. It does pay off.
It's an honest living. Going into the Rod of Atos, and then maybe we see an Ags, depending on what he wants to go for. We saw a lot more Ags on Huertas earlier in the tournament, and now I feel like some teams, some Huertas have kind of shied away from that item.
It really depends how much control you have on side of your team. If you need extra bit of control, Saberlight, he's getting pinged at. Knows something's cooking.
Can smell it. No one now looking to steal some stacks. He's got 9 class with him. Stead shot well off the mark, but gonna sit in this sandstorm. You need to be careful about how you approach this.
Immediately sentry dropped, so he needs to run away. This is something I'm looking at DM's itemization, and usually he is the guy that loves to pick up Force Staff. Whenever he plays Enigma, most of the time it is drums into pipe, but this time around, in terms of magic damage, there is some. We'll see if he decides to go for it, or if he decides to go for more scaling build with the BKB and the Blink Dagger, but Force Staff is the item that pretty much exclusively he does buy on Enigma.
Well, he has it in just a second. He is farming at an okay pace. It's nothing too crazy. He's lowest of the cores, but kind of tight with him in the Storm and the Beastmaster. But Beastmaster soon to have that Helm of the Overlord on that upgrade on the Dominator. That being said, you still have no one at the top, and then Satanic behind him, where he's picked up this Sacred Relic, and he's 2 gold away. He'll have the Radiance now.
Pretty good timing on that Radiance. It's him and Sanking on top of the network. They've been farming a lot, clearing those stacks. Now with Radiance, as you said, it's going to be extra bit of increase. Fastest on this hero. 13 minutes and 40 seconds.
You could have guessed that.
Yeah.
Saberlight comes over, but 9 class not getting caught. He's going for that Yule, so he wants that extra bit of control. Yule sets up for the Pounce Leash or a Burrow Strike. Maybe they can get a kill there. But they use the Epicenter. They've come over for this kill on a Boxy. It's near the tier 1 tower over mid. It's just a kill in the Muerta, but then, you know, kill's a kill right now. Something that they're willing to take for sure.
And you said you don't want to do any analysis. You said a kill is a kill. I like that one.
Top tier analysis, right? You'd
This is something that I would use.
Hell yeah.
Something God would use when he's doing the interview before the game.
Well, we picked 5 heroes because there are 5 players. Thank you, God.
Ooh, he caught him. Mid-zip.
Good ult there. Now looking for Nisha. But he's got
Nisha?
that defense matrix.
Still yet to be involved in a single kill. Quite uncharacteristic for Nisha, I would say. 0-1 and 0, 15 minutes into the game. Same goes for Mickey. Mickey had some of the slower starts on his Tiny. This is pretty similar to how Tiny plays, where he kind of goes back to jungle, loses his tower, then he's gone for good 15 minutes, and suddenly he starts to be more active. Deso, Dragonlance is done. This Radiance, it's going to be a pretty good pickup. You're playing against Storm, who deals a good amount of physical damage, right-click damage. Same goes for TA.
Burrow Strike Ice Blast. Saberlight's just
again.
dead. He got the Primal Roar off on the no one, though, and they'll use that laser and the damage from Mickey to get the kill in a return. They look for 9 class, who does not have that ulti, but might have a way out, especially with the dead shot missing. Traps down, and then gets that ulti off cooldown, immediately uses it, and TPs out. So it wasn't available initially, but survived long enough to make sure that he could leave that fight. And they immediately try for the Tormentor, but...
Quite a lot of damage, but
yeah, not enough
there's no real follow-up. No one was close by.
No Ice Blast available either. Now they've
Bucharest, he took the book out, is going to read that book. Book of the Dead.
DM, he's got Black Hole, and actually there's not a lot of mana here for Boxy. They'll use that Black Hole, and then they've got the extra damage kill off Nisha. They even commit to the epicenter.
Nisha stayed for too long. DM, he was ready with the Black Hole, but he also wanted to toy with him a little bit. Boxy, they're still going to chase. 9 class, you know this guy wants to go in deep.
I wonder if DM was also kind of a little hesitant to see if Boxy popped a wand and had like...
After what happened in the previous fight with the Black Hole, he definitely wanted to wait it out a little bit more. 9 class.
Good Ice Blast,
They're
good
in.
Burrow Strike and Pounce. Spells put together so well from PARIVISION in the moment, and they get an easy kill and a Saberlight deep in his side of the map.
Do you think before, like, coming into the series, they are like, 9 class, you gotta tip the guy. Whoever dies, like, you gotta choose one guy from the enemy team and keep tipping him, because he's been on that duty. He's been on Saberlight's ass for good 17 minutes, ever since he died the first time.
There's a limited amount of tips, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that should change?
Do we need to be more toxic? Yes or no? What's the answer here?
Well, when you put it like that, I'm going to say no, but everybody likes a good, you know...
Tip here and there.
Yeah.
Voice line, sure.
Yeah. Like, voice lines are restricted. 2 per, like, every 2 minutes or something like that. I'd like a little bit more chatter. 11-4 for PARIVISION. Only up 1,000 net worth. I would say they're controlling the map and, of course, controlling these fights up to this point, 18 minutes into the game. But Liquid, especially Mickey, he's done a really good job of getting everything he can out of the map without being hindered.
Had that one death in the laning stage, but other than that, he is keeping up with Kunkka, and they're in a good spot. Satanic uses the boat.
Ghost ship comes through, lands on a Boxy. He's dead immediately. Nisha's in. They got the silence with the calling, and 9 class just holding 3 heroes back himself, pretty much. He's got that Yules that sets up the Ice Blast. It won't land, though. The blink away from Mickey. They land the Burrow Strike coming out from no one.
Back from
Lightning
Boxy.
and the Vortex on the backlines, though, but the damage from the epicenter. Can they get the kill?
Too much.
They will. Mickey's gone. 9 class dead. Insignia on the run, but Nisha's here to defend this Tinker. They look to get the kill onto Satanic.
That force staff from DM.
DM.
That shot's gonna miss.
Dead shot off the mark, and now they found the Malefice. They'll kill off Nisha. 3 heroes dead on the side of Liquid.
And suddenly the game is completely open for
Yes.
PARIVISION. That one move from Liquid, that was a very risky move, going uphill into the enemy triangle, and they found a target that they don't want to find. The tankiest target on the enemy team uses Satanic with Titanic immediately, gets that boat off, and it's just way too much damage reduction.
Jumps from 1K to 5K. Look at the damage from no one as well. I thought he might die. There was, you know, Nisha going into the back lines trying to kill these supports. They end up getting 9 class, but that's just not enough. He is so intrusive to these fights, too. You know, the Sorks, in the face of 3 heroes, uses that Euls on a Mickey. He can't output the damage while he's up into the air. And then those other 2 heroes aren't sure if they can get by to add anything else.
They also don't have BKBs. They have like no real damage mitigation. Panel talked about itemization on Tinker. He did go for Holy Locket, but you're playing against Ancient Apparition, which means that you're not getting the full value out of it. So Glimmer Cape is going to be next on the menu. He did finish off Solar Crest. In terms of physical damage, they don't really have that much. It's more about giving your Templar Assassin attack speed so that she can deal that extra bit of damage.
2 charges on that Deso, Blink Deso, Dragonlance looking into the Hurricane Pike, and that Shard. That Shard is always so important here for Templar Assassins, adding that silence, maybe gives you a moment to make a jump before somebody can get out. It might even force a BKB a little bit earlier in a fight. That Shard's very important to the TA builds. I would like to see Liquid at a point like this maybe try to sneak Roche if they can find an opening, but that might require them to fight.
Yeah, I don't think PARIVISION's gonna let that slide exactly, because a lot of the times in this meta you see one team going for Tormentor, other team gets Roche as a trade as soon as they get it because they're playing on a different side of the map, but Tormentor has already been taken by Liquid and they're gonna smoke up again. DM and no one. He's ready to jump. Finds no one. Finds himself.
Had that Ags ready to go and soon into the BKB. So now Epicenter down. I'm wondering if you could think about it. They're smoked up. Do they go to fight or go to Roche? These heroes are bottom, so a fight win over PARIVISION almost secures Roche, definitely. They'll find DM, which is a big hero to get. Primal Roar, but that early Ghost Scepter purchase from DM, keeping him alive a little bit longer. They still have the Vortex, though, in the Melon Strike. They go to the Ice Blast. That lands on Anisha. Yules again from 9 class on a Mickey. 9 class will stay in their face. He looks over at Boxy with the Burrow Strike coming through from no one. They've got the control, but he pierces the veil. They go to the burning feet. Dead shot lands under Dakalis. Nisha with the ball lightning over the cliff. He can go back towards these Croakers, but Mickey's in some trouble with the BKB pop by Satanic. He's got way too much freedom in a fight like this. He tries to get the kill on a Mickey, but it's going to be 9 class who gets it with a Dark Pact, and Mickey's gone. They land the Torrent here on Anisha, who doesn't have a lot of mana left to really fight this one out.
He's fighting
but
inside the Goblins.
Goes after 9 class, who will still get away. No, the axes fly through. Satanic ends up dead. Nisha's got the kill, and it's a little bit of a turnaround from Liquid. There's 4 heroes gone, but no one kills Nisha, and it ends up being a bit of a stymied duel and a draw.
Liquid using the opportunity, seeing that no one didn't hit the single hero with that Epicenter, immediately going in. But yeah, look at these damage numbers from Kunkka. We can't see damage numbers taken, but he's soaking up so much. We can see that after game, but during the game, it feels like he's having way too much impact in these fights. The mischance, the Radiance Burn, combine that with Ancient Apparition, so all that damage is amplified. And I was wondering which auras they're going to buy. So Saberlight's going to be going for Pipe, which is definitely needed in terms of magic damage. They have so much. They're also going to be having that Glimmer Cape on Tinker. Insania is getting good amount of farm. With that Shard from Tormentor, he has the same amount of farm as DM right now.
More than his own Storm. On top of which, you know, in a fight like that, just going back, top of which, no one didn't have Epicenter in that situation. He uses it, then they re-engage soon after, and now no one. He's forced to pop this BKB and leave.
Yeah, for a spell that is called Epic Enter, he wasn't really an Epic Enter to the fight in the previous one.
No, he was not at all. A little surprise. I mean, everybody, it was what, 4 for 4 at the end of the day? Can't really enter Roche with 1 hero. Kind of love that. Doing some damage off the ops take. Min-maxing. Burrow Strike, though, onto Boxy, who will pierce the veil again. But they have found Satanic for the moment. Sand King doesn't have a BKB, so if he wants to go in, he's going to be very vulnerable. Some big damage onto 9 class before he even gets the pounce through and uses that ult.
Boxy's having a really rough game. He doesn't have a single item. Reminds me of Mira yesterday when he was playing that Ricky, where he was unable to get his items online. He was thinking about picking up Road of Atos, Boxy with the buyback, sitting at only 3.6k net worth, 23 minutes in. Difficult game for him. A lot of damage Like, if he gets initiated on, he's not gonna die, and his ulti is really not that impactful as well, because they have so much ground targeted, so much spell damage that he's gonna be dying to almost immediately as he gets caught. Big item on Enigma. Crimson Guard.
Yeah. I will say
A lot of tankiness.
At a point like this, Muerta, the ult really is the calling. Your biggest spell is the calling in this game. Pierce the Veil is not going to matter all too much, and you just got to hope that you get a good calling out there and you get a couple of good silences. It's a tough game. We've seen a couple Muerta games like this, where you just don't really have the ability to farm. There's so much greed on the team. You've got a Tinker who wants to...
Yeah, blame the team. Classic.
What? I wasn't blaming. There's not blame.
That's how it always starts.
It's just...
I'm not, you know, I'm not blaming the team, but...
I'm not blaming the team. But it's
I know. I'm just kidding.
Circumstance of greed.
It can be difficult. Like,
yeah.
You're not getting farm priority. You're not living long enough to get that extra gold. And again, Team Liquid's gonna smoke up. Same area. This time around, they're not gonna find anything.
But if I had to be truthful for a moment, it is always my team's fault. 9 class grabbing a courier there. That's...
I'll tell you a secret before this fight starts. Never mind. Satanic,
BKB early. Gonna need the rest of the team to join him. 9 class off to the side. The Ice Blast is flying through. It should be able to hit Saberlight here. It does. So he's locked up for a moment. DM looking for an opportunity maybe to go to the Black Hole, but the Burrow Strike comes in. They've got the silence with the calling. The Epicenter was doing quite a bit of damage, but Nisha now turning this around into Satanic, boxing with the Pierce the Veil. They've got the Cold Feet that freezes over this Mickey TA, but they need help. They go to the Black Hole. It's only going to be on a 1. It's only on a Boxy. He's not a lot of net worth and damage taken out of the fight, but Cold Feet, it procs over again. No one's there. Gets the kill.
Hard from Slark, keeping him alive for a second.
Burrow Strike once more. They've got the control and another kill for no one.
Oh man, he has so much survivability on this Kunkka, and he just hit that level 20. This is going to be a massive difference in the upcoming fights, because that extra 15 damage rum delay, it works on your both, and it works on your innate ability as well. So that's going to be up to 85%, which makes it like you're not taking damage immediately. And he's going for Satanic. He's going to be getting that extra bit of lifesteal afterwards because you drop so low. You're soaking up all of that damage, and Team Liquid, they are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, certainly in a bit of a struggle here as Mickey, his net worth has kind of been slowed and stopped. They've had a couple of fights where he's died, and these fights have happened kind of often to the point where he's not really farming much more than he had already. He needs to take some time and farm a bit, maybe get this BKB, wait for that fight to happen. Both teams unable to really get Roshan, and now it's actually this time around PARIVISION who've set up bottom to go for the Tormentor. Do you trade for this? Mickey, he's over by the top tier too. There's no scan onto Roche. Do they think about going for it while the Torm happens? They'll know that they're on the other side of the map. They could just go through the Twin Gate, and there's no speed in which they take it before there would be a counterplay.
I also like that Ancient Apparition bought his own shard. He did go for Road of Atos, so you can combine that with extra bit of a stun from your shard.
Roar on 9 class.
He got his thingy off. Dark Pact has Yule Scepter. Big ulti used. I think it's time for PARIVISION to try to hunt them down in the jungle.
That's a high five that if you had any tips left would be a tip. That's how you know he's out of tips. Revenant's Brooch on...
No, he sold that one.
Okay.
He's just kidding.
All right, I saw it for a second. I was like, wait, whoa, hey.
Nullifier, too good of an item to pass in this game. You're playing against Solar Glimmer, Defense Matrix. I think this is actually 9 class talking through DM. He's like, dude, use the voice line.
Great comms. Good voice line, too.
Getting very close to that Nullifier. This is a big item. Tinker is just completely gone. Like, you have Ancient Apparition, which counters his Holy Locket, counters his Facet, and then 2 of those items are going to get countered as well.
Blind Torrent. Not landing, but they go to the Epicenter. Ice Blast unneeded. No one gets a kill again in a Boxy, who is struggling. I mean, we've been talking about the struggles. The GPM ain't good. The net worth, not really of existence. He doesn't have a full item. He's got Tranquils. And that's it.
Didn't even have that. He was disassembling it, so it wasn't really a full item. Sitting on almost 2,000 gold, so still needs to decide which direction he wants to go for.
Gotta decide before you die again, though. It'll set you back. Buys a gem, so now not even gonna have gold for that Rod of Atos. Maybe it pays off dividends, though. This AA combo with Sand King is so vicious. And there's that nullifier. Revenant's Brooch, just kidding. Nullifier, no, I'm serious this time. So, Yule's nullifier, level 17, almost 18. You compare that again to the supports. Tinker's keeping up, but Muerta is nowhere near.
Massive difference.
And speaking of Muerta, they've got Boxing in trouble again and piercing the veil just for a couple extra seconds of life.
And I believe he just lost that gem.
Oh.
Oof, a bit of a rough one.
Oh,
I'm also looking at Mickey. Mickey did buy Orb of Venom. This has to be the latest Orb of Venom purchase on Templar Assassin. The reason why he's buying it, it does give True Strike. It's a 9-second cooldown, so you want to be able to deal that damage. Great against Radiance, of course. It's a budget MKB.
Really budget, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, that is pretty cheap. That is a homemade MKB. Tier 2 tower gonna die here as PARIVISION up 15,000 net worth. And potentially looking to pierce the high ground. They do have 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis. But now with Satanic and no one pushing the side lanes, and them not really near, well, at least now, Satanic not really near the team. Doesn't look like they'll go for the high ground just yet. Satanic's still looking to farm. He wants this AC, wants a Daedalus.
It's pretty impressive that no one is keeping up with Kunkka. Kunkka carry with Radiance is definitely extremely fast farmer, and then you have Sanking, who also can farm fast, but these are some pretty impressive numbers on Sanking.
He's ahead of the Kunkka.
AA ulti on Boxy again.
Yeah, Ice Blast flies in. No one's got the kill. That actually also hits Saberlight. The ball lightning in with the Vortex, and now DM looking for something. But the Primal Roar gets used. They throw it a Warp Flare. Not really going to matter all too much. 9class goes into the ulti, and now looks over at Mickey here. Will use that Yules. They've got the epicenter. The Burrow Strike, but the BKB comes out. He's got the defense matrix on him.
The Force Staff and Force Set Black Hole.
Force Staff, Black Hole on to 2. There's the damage with the Tidebringer. Satanic with a double kill. They've got the Pounce Leech onto Nisha. Follow that up with the Rod of Atos from this Ancient Apparition and a Torrent. They've got more than enough damage to get the kill here on the Storm Spirit, and they'll look for another one as Mickey trying to run. There's a Meld Strike onto no one. One shot. He needs to get out of this. The Warp Flare.
Oh, he forced himself.
They find themselves Mickey. They freeze him over with Cold Feet. They've got another kill on the Templar Assassin who doesn't have buyback, and they are right onto Insania. They've leashed him up with the Pounce, and it is a full team wipe +1 as PARIVISION see into the future and no liquids every move.
Man, what a fight.
To another Torrent, and this should be another kill. Potentially. Ice Blast? Is there one?
It is coming.
No, certainly not.
Not enough.
I mean, somebody wants to dive in on that, and it's probably a 9class.
They killed Sanking, though.
Yeah, they got no one who is top of the net worth. A lot of kills here for PARIVISION. Somehow Liquid still end up positive on their net worth gained. Aegis expires. Ninja Gear used. X marks the spot into a Torrent once again. The Nullifier
Down
there.
to half HP immediately.
So dead. Satanic not afraid to move forward. He's still got that rum buff. And he will put that X on a Saberlight. Nisha's right-clicking him. I don't think he doesn't really care. But he's got the Yules from 9class, forcing the BKB, the Tidebringer. Oh, God, Nisha.
Level 25.
Jesus.
Extra 120% cleave. They're trying to go on him, but they need to be careful. He does have Satanic. He does have BKB available. He will need to fall back, try to reset. Got that Black Hole online one more time. I'm just not seeing how Team Liquid is going to be able to make a comeback in this game. You know, there isn't that big of a combo, nothing that they can pair up with.
Right.
It's not like Aghanim Scepter, Disruptor, for example. He's very close to it. If we're looking at the items, there's nothing too big coming out. This Nullifier on Slark, which he did kind of rush after picking up Yule Scepter, is destroying the game for them. It's too much of a value. I think teams realized as tournament progressed that this item is too good. Like, you need to have it. We saw like triple Nullifier in one of those games as well, which I think I had the stats at the start of the tournament that it never actually happened in ever since last TI, I believe, and at least not in Tier 1 Dota.
Satanic now ready to push the top lane. Had it happened in other tiers of Dota?
Yeah, it did happen in some EPL, NA, and Southeast Asia, but yeah.
9 class.
There wasn't a single game of triple Nullifier on one team.
Warp flared back. He'll have to use that ult to get away. So Shadow dancing, and Boxy once again, he has been found for what will be the 13th time. Look at 9 class. He is just a bully. This guy doesn't let you have any free farm. He's always got his eyes on.
If Nisha is going to try to TP, he's going to try to catch him.
Oh. Oh,
Nisha,
now
out of mana.
Yeah, he's out of mana. He's in a little bit of trouble. They've got the X. They go to the Burrow Strike. They've got themselves the epicenter working with the BKBB pop, though. They find themselves in Sania.
That was a black hole, by the way.
It was there, and then it wasn't. And Saberlight, he's used that Primal War. He's got his own BKB. Burrow Strike onto the low ground. Boxy dead again after buying back. Make it 14. Satanic even throwing the tip out. But they'll have the X on a Saberlight. He'll blink
Nisha
away, avoids the ghost ship, and there's just not enough that the side of Liquid could do, especially without Nisha.
Nisha, he's close by to use the zip, but damage has already been done. They're gonna pop the glyph. X mark on no one, so he's coming back. Full HP, full mana.
BKB is not really available for anyone. Burrow Strike lands, though, and now they've got the X. They pull him back. He tries to get away. But Mickey will find some distance while they take the top set of racks. 30,000 net worth lead for PARIVISION. Liquid still trying to fight their way back into it. One good fight might be able to give them a chance. But the trap gets popped. The silence is there. The pounce leashes on a Mickey, throws the nullifier on. They've got themselves the torrent. Now they'll proc the rum, but now Nisha on the run with the BKB. The damage, though, pretty heavy. Galeguard used. Burrow Strike lands. It's out of the Templar Assassin. They're not gonna land the Ice Blast, but it won't matter. They'll still get Mickey. He's dead for 90. Saberlight with the roar, but he's pulled back with the X, and he's gone for a minute too.
They have no business left in this game. Storm Spirit will try to go in, make something happen, but this is just way too much sustain, way too much damage coming out from them. Satanic can easily siege, and Boxy, this is his 15th death.
Oof. GG finally called by Liquid, and PARIVISION secure game 1 and are now 1 game away from going to that grand final.
Game was kind of even until they did go into that triangle, and suddenly the game was pretty much open for
Nomad coming into this game number 2. Like you said, there is a lot of history here. Lacoste, you wanted to kind of elaborate on the history between these two teams.
Yeah, it is a very difficult matchup for Team Liquid. And we can see what's happening in the bottom lane. They're going to kill the wave immediately with Vena with his facet. One CS have been denied, but to go back to history, so far in 2025, Team Liquid managed to only win 4 games, 11 losses against PARIVISION, so the matchup just doesn't suit them. And as Jazz was talking about this matchup, the very predictable style of Dota, but also very different from other teams are doing, so it's very difficult to counter it. And yeah, Team Liquid, they definitely want some revenge. ESL 1 Rally, lower bracket quarterfinals, PARIVISION did eliminate them and ended up winning the whole tournament.
Damn. So they have really had their number. We're getting a couple of disconnects. Can we zoom in on Sand King real quick? I got to make sure if it's Sand King or Brewmaster. All right, definitely looks like that's definitely a Sand King. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was, you know, trusting Saberlight on Brew. Probably trust him on Sand King too, right?
Oh, I hope so. I hope that they know what they're playing. It was a very good performance from Sanking in the previous game. Different type of Sanking. Sanking from the offlane doesn't come online as fast. He was staying on top of the network throughout the whole game, which was pretty impressive. And you're also playing into Ringmaster and Phantom Assassin, so you need to be super careful how you're going to approach this lane. Sure, you have a very strong position 4, you have Wind Ranger, but Sanking, again, this hero doesn't really do that much. Especially at the early level. Like, he's level 1, probably might be the most atrocious out of all the heroes.
Yeah.
You get close, you're like immediately getting initiated on, you get Impalement Arts, you get daggered. Very, very difficult to even get close, I would say. So we saw DM having a very good game on Sanking when he was playing it from the offlane, where he was stacking, where he was dragging the creep waves as well, and immediately on top of him. He just might die here.
They've jumped him. He's used the Burrow Strike, but they have another Stifling Dagger.
And the Blood Grenade.
Impalement Arts doesn't land, but the Blood Grenade is there. Another Blood Grenade thrown from Boxy. And a power shot. Satanic actually getting lit up a little bit. Saberlight coming back around. Does have a Burrow Strike, but needs to be careful. Of course, if Satanic does get that level 2. You talked about it, Satanic. This guy never dies. And he is keeping himself alive. He's farming the fastest. He has been a problem for not just Liquid, but for every team in this event. I mean, this guy is putting on a show.
Pretty much owning every single game that we watch him. They extended there a little bit more than I expected. They tried to go for the first blood, but Fairy Fire stick used, so he was fine. And something that panel did mention, we saw this matchup as well when Nico was playing it as Monkey King into Queen of Pain, which was much better than I expected it to be. Queen of Pain still doesn't have a point in Shadow Strike. This is where you expect him to get it, but Monkey King doing really well. 11-2 against 6-0. So maybe I had a bad read on this matchup as well, because this is the second time that Monkey is doing much better than I expected.
Yeah, doing quite well. And you know who's also doing well is 9 class on this.
Yeah, nobody's
Signature
touching him. He's in the jungle.
Yeah, they don't really fight back that well in the jungle. There's no real contest from somebody else. But 15 CS, I mean, this guy, he's going to be rolling. We've seen it before. We've seen 9 class just kind of hit every marker coming from the jungle as Veno.
Yeah, you can't really gank mid lane, so that's a bit of a bummer for Venomancer, but you can gank safe lane, you can gank off lane. DM, he's getting heavily pressured in the bottom lane, but getting good amount of XP, starting with Windlay, so he wants to have that extra bit of movement speed. And I think in this one, he needs Bracer. He might even need a double Bracer just to be able to survive. Massive wave getting close, and he might be in trouble here. They're going to start to play immediately aggressive. Meta has been used.
Arcane Curse on him. They want this kill. They've got the Reflection. Ooh, boy, it's
Windlay's
not going to be enough.
The difference there. If you lose Intelligence as Centaur, it is GG. I'm sure, like, you have Double Edge, which doesn't cost mana, but you can't afford. Like, you're not the brightest of Dota heroes. Good power shots.
In 2 heroes and now Lotus, but you see 9 class starting to catch up. Looking to try and kill Boxy. Throws a Plague Warden in a spot where now you can't move.
You have been blocked.
Oof.
Gandalf, 9 class, blocks the pathway. They couldn't pass. Gets that first blood. It's not like he was having a bad time, so that's going to be extra bit of a gold. I want to see which kind of items he's going to be buying. I think in this one, there's going to be a lot of value of him picking up Guardian Greaves, because there's a Dispel mechanic. You're playing against Silencer, keeping your team alive, and maybe go full auras even. I'm down, depending what DM wants to buy, whether he wants to build pipe on the hero, or if he wants Venomancer, do it. If you don't want to go for it, he can get Solar Crest, he can get Glimmer Cape on top of that. There's a lot of magic damage, so I think there's going to be a lot of value picking up both Pipe and Glimmer.
DM only having 5 CS, he understands
he's getting
his role in this game.
Very sacrificial.
He's not really able to step up to the wave too much, and he'll get a CS here or there, but eventually 9 class comes online. He'll help out, maybe even get a kill or 2 bottom, and then Centaur feels better. But unfortunately, like you said, you get to this point where you have less intelligence and things become a little bit scary.
Yeah, because you're not buying into real mana items on the hero. Like, your mana starts to come through maybe once you start picking up this Lotus Orb, Aghanim Scepter, but yeah, if you want to be using Pipe, if you want to using your Stampede, multiple Hoof Stomps, you just don't have enough.
At least he is getting some experience, even compared to the supports, he's getting a decent amount. I'll be happy with that. And it's all about really seeing what 9 class can accomplish. He's already hit that 50 mark on CS, so he's averaging about 10 per minute. Obviously, throughout the jungle, maybe not worth the same.
One thing that the Venomancer jungle does really well is he farms those Mad Stones pretty quickly. So you can have those items relatively early on, not just on yourself, but also on the rest of the team.
Collis is here mid. But this isn't an easy kill to get. Nisha would have to blink aggressively for them to get this kill, or they catch him as he blinks back. Blinks down into the right, and that Impalement Arts won't land on Tanisha, so it's not going to do much for him.
Oh, look at that net worth on Centaur. 900, same amount as pretty much every single support in the game, but the one who's having a really good time is 9 class. He's going to be stealing some of the stacks as well.
You have to protect these. He takes them so quickly. If you leave them for a moment,
Level
that could just be it.
And a half, 6 minutes into the game. Oh, Arcane Rune as well.
DM might be dead and is dead again. This is a real tough lane for him, of course, by himself, but just being able to survive with where they have the wave place and him wanting to get experience is also a bit of a problem.
Yeah, DM, also known as Davai Mana. He's going to need to be given some kind of mana. Mana boots from Venomancer should come in pretty handy, because he's definitely going to be low. And now right into the triangle. I think we could watch Jungle Venomancer for like good 10 minutes, what he's doing, and I wouldn't get bored.
The movements, the farming, that's all I need to see. As a support player, it's what I like to see the most. They are starting to come over here to try and defend, but it's not that easy. Again, you know, 9 class is level 6, and they will find Nisha after the blink, so he's in trouble, and he'll Sonic Wave, but he's dead. 9 class getting that kill. Last word onto no one. He's got the Jingu,
Good
but
box.
the escape act is really well placed, and now the chase is on for Insania for a moment, won't grab it, and the Monkey King will get out. 9 class. Let's see. Got to be careful. He glyphs it. What? Looking for a power shot here? And gets it. Yeah, so he glyphs the creep wave. He can't lifesteal off of it and dies.
Very nice play. Even though he had raindrop, he still did manage to get that kill. So Boxy desperately needed, after what happened in game number 1, to have a slightly better game, and also playing Wind Ranger this time around. So will not be having as many deaths as he did have in game 1.
Hopefully
was
not.
15.
Yeah, that was more than a baker's dozen. Saberlight trying to take the stacks while he can, knowing that 9 class really wants to contest these. And he does have Epicenter. If 9 class stays a little bit too long, he could just be costing himself his life. That's exactly what he does. He stays, he dies, he gives up some brain drain, and now they're going to get a +1 on Ducalis. There's not really much place for him to go. He'll whoopee cushion over the Roche pit, but he's still dead. A little bit. This is PARIVISION that we've seen a couple times.
We haven't.
They get a lead, and then they give it away for free, and then they're like, let's just make the game a little bit harder for a little bit longer.
El Saberlighto returning the tips that he collected from the previous game. 9 class did tip him every single time. And I talked about itemization on the heroes, where I would expect early Glimmer Capes, early Pipe from a Centaur. Satanic, look what he has in his quick buy. Battle Fury into Glimmer Cape.
See how much that works out for him. I like it. Now, DM level 6, he does have Stampede. Could clearly see his game is not going that well. He's in that support net worth. But you do have a very high Veno. Stampede is used, and now the ulti on Mikke. He's feared up. They tame the beast. They're trying to get the kill before he's able to
Mikke
sunder.
doesn't have Sunder.
Stifling dagger, no one to sunder. They'll get the kill, and Insania and Mikke, they'll lose DM, so it's a 2-for-1 for the moment, but Satanic looking maybe for a way to dive back in. Impalement Art, Sonic Wave, going for 9 class. He'll get the kill, but he's traded. No one here for Saberlight, and they've got the Boundless Strike held off on. He's trying to juke around the trees, but Satanic sticks with him. He goes into the Sandstorm. They've got the dust ready from decisive, and that's a double kill for Satanic and a tip right back from 9 class.
This is the power of Phantom Assassin. You want to get involved early on. This hero has very good chase potential. He also didn't go for Orb of Corrosion, so his Battle Fury timing is also going to be very good. Sure, it allows you to get maybe an extra kill, allows you to get that extra bit of a farm. Mickey, he just got that level 8, but Satanic, he's not done. This is a triple kill in my book.
That is a unofficial triple kill. It's nice unofficial triple play. But a couple of bounty runes for no one, and decisive also going to bring the creep wave over. They want to put some pressure onto the tower, and then Saberlight back into farming this Blink Dagger into the triangle and taking some of these stacks.
He's so far away from his Blink Dagger, definitely needs any kind of farm he can get, any kind of stack, but right now they're playing very aggressive in the bottom lane. Seems like there's not going to be a response from Liquid. Silencer, still not level 6.
Yeah, no global is a little bit rough for them. However, even though they're losing this bottom tier 1, looks like this mid tier 1's going to drop without contest either. And both these teams just very content on giving up these towers. A little bit of a lead for PARIVISION, but a smoke play from Liquid to try and even it up as they're gonna go bottom again to try and find DM, who wants Blade Mail. This could certainly help him as time goes on. Maybe get a couple of kills with that in these big team fight engagements. Shackle connects though. Arcane Curse forced the Stampede. TP attempt, and he is out. Easy peasy.
Doesn't want to get his mana drained again.
No, right now he's working with what? 375?
So use the Stampede, which is 150. Hoof Stomp is 110. That's 260, so you're left with pretty much 115 mana. Let's throw in Teleport in there, and you're left with 40 mana. That's it.
The full combo.
You want to use your Blade Mail? That's 25, left with 15.
Better hope those mana prices don't go up. Otherwise, you won't be able to use anything. 18 seconds faster than the previous record for this Battle Fury. You said it, no Orb of Corrosion means that he was going to get into the Battle Fury earlier. We saw a similar game from Satanic in Belgrade where he had he had Battle Fury, BKB, Sanjin Yasha 16, 17 minutes into the game. It was something insane like that. Global Silence gets used, they find themselves 9 class, so they'll take a little bit of his mana, and the Brain Drain already up to 6.
Good amount. Venomancer, this is the 3rd time that he did die, so knowing that he is 3rd on the network right now, he's given away quite a lot of XP, quite a lot of gold. Nisha, he continues to farm up. About to finish off his Dagon, so that's going to be explosive damage that they do need once they pop the Global Silence. Saberlight,
close
10 minutes in, yeah. He looked very poor, but with some stacks going on, he's going to be able still to finish off Blink Dagger pre-14 minutes, which is pretty nice.
I'm looking over at 9 class. You know, you wanted the early pipe on Centaur. 9 class, knowing he's getting the farm, he'll take over for that. He'll get the pipe instead.
There's definitely a talk between two of them who wants to get what, and also that mana cost on pipe also, considering that he lost so much mana. It is 150 mana to use pipe, and I don't know where DM would get that mana, to be honest.
You could cosplay to be the offlaner with your net worth, but you still have to buy the items that I would get, which is the pipe after that Solar Crest. So, you know, I like the progression he's made so far in this meta. He's also almost level 10. He's keeping up in experience with these mid laners. Satanic, top of the net worth, no surprise, especially with the Battle Fury addition. And he is going to commit to going to that early Glimmer Cape.
Wants to fight. They want to hit an earlier timing. Once they finish off that pipe, Solar Crest that you mentioned, DM, he's very poor. He has Blade Mail only, but Stampede's going to be their way of closing the gap. Two teams not going to find each other. Seems like PARIVISION, they want to find Terrorblade farming in the bottom lane, but he's already gone.
McKay is a little bit far back into his own jungle, so there's not really a spot for them to find him there. And the Glimmer should be coming through. Then it's going to be Sanj and Yasha. Satanic for Satanic. So going to his namesake pretty early on this hero. But with this Blink tag, I'm a little bit surprised that maybe Liquid haven't found a fight or tried to fight a little bit more. It is about to hit that 15-minute mark, and they are going to go through this twin gate looking for somebody from the side of Liquid, maybe confirm that kill and end up going for the Tormentor themselves.
They have very good shards. Shard, if you can pick it up on Wind Ranger, is a big setup for your Sanking, big setup for Queen of Pain as well. Keep them in place so your TB can deal damage. Not a bad one by any means, as well on Silencer. If you keep draining that mana, especially on Centaur, could play a big role. Boxy, nice dodge.
Yeah, dodge the first Impalement Arts, not the second, but there's the hoof stomp with the Stampede getting committed. They go to the Wukong's command. They've got the Global Silence, and now Boxy trying to TP out in front of them. They also got the kill on no one while they're by this Tormentor.
I think Global Silence was used to kill Monkey King, but it also helped Boxy to actually get out, because there was supposed to be another double edge, maybe another Impalement Arts. I didn't see if it was off cooldown, but a nice dodge from Boxy. Saberlight just blinking in aggressively.
Impalement Arts thrown over, doesn't catch anybody. They have not taken this Torm, though. I guess the assumption is that PARIVISION saw him there and they wanted to contest this, but like you were saying, there are some good shards in this game to try and get, especially for free. 100% off. Always feels good. Blink Dagger for DM is on the list, but you can see his net worth, not exactly working with a lot. That being said, he's kind of behind in farm too. I said that 9 Class was kind of cosplaying this off lane role, and he is with his items, but net worth-wise, he's really taken over priority, well, not really priority because he's the one just farming the jungle and everything, from the mid. No one's kind of behind here.
Yeah, those two deaths. Still has good amount of farm. Mage Slayer, Pipe, this is a very strong combination in this patch. Allows you to mitigate most of the damage, and most of the damage on their side is magical. At least early on, sure, TB is the one who's going to be dealing physical damage, so they have a little bit of protection from Solar Crest, something that Venomancer rushed.
Primal Spring there, time the Beast down bottom. Saberlight looking for an epicenter. And Ducalis not going to make it through the Twin Gate. Now looking for the epicenter. But Tame the Beast, the Escape Act, he'll survive it for now. And he'll try to run away. He's got the whoopee cushion for a jump. And he'll also dust because he knows that Satanic's coming his way. Tame the Beast and no one through the Twin Gate. Can they find Saberlight? Primal Spring not getting the vision. Doesn't see him at the moment. And that won't end up being a catch just yet, but maybe he crosses paths. He sees him within the trees and finds him again. We'll pop that dust. He's got the Jingu. They'll use the Stampede. They've got Satanic coming over.
Not blanking out.
Will get the kill onto Saberlight after what was a long chase.
Knowing that he has Mage Slayer available, so that he's not going to have that blank. And I could see them going and try to grab Tormentor for themselves, so it's going to be between DM and Ducalis. So let's see who's going to get it. Spotlight is very, very good shard. You're playing against Terrorblade. His illusions are gonna almost instantly die, but maybe DM needs a little bit of push. He's gonna get it.
He'll get it.
It's a good shard. It's a very good shard. Not so much early on, but this is a more like mid-late game oriented shard.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
PARIVISION, we saw in the last game, it was very close and they won a big fight and it kind of tailed off from there. They're in this spot where you could see a big fight go their way and Satanic would just be too far ahead to catch. If they can slow him down, that would be nice, but he still is not died, and I mean, this guy only averages 1.5 deaths. This team is struggling to kill him once, let alone twice, to really shut him out. They will find 9 Class.
He's a very tanky guy.
Very tanky.
Queen of Pain
throws that ult, and
slightly more. Dagon.
Yeah, has that Dagon to get the kill. Meanwhile, at the same time, though, they found themselves this terribly. Wukong's command comes
Global
in.
is ready.
Kalis is here with the Wheel of Wonder. Burrow Strike comes through, and no one's going to be in trouble instead. And they will get the kill onto no one with the Global Silence used. There wasn't much more that Ducalis could do.
This is what Team Liquid's lineup is very good at. Getting pickoffs, getting the kills. You can pair up Sanking with Queen of Pain and pretty much get any kill on the map. Satanic involved in 6 out of 8 kills. Continues to farm up. SNY completed.
Radiant are scanning.
He's been farmed, but will he fight a little bit more? Will PARIVISION fight a little bit more? I think they're starting to feel maybe the lack of farm on Centaur. Strike that from the record. They're not feeling it. Satanic gets a kill in a boxy with the help of the Centaur.
I think DM is
Now's the
a
blink.
very impactful player when it comes down to him using his net worth, especially when he doesn't have much. Like he has, if you turn his impact
Is under attack.
let's say damage to net worth or net worth to damage, his numbers would definitely be pretty high.
I do like that stat. His effectiveness is there, and they move into Roche. So PARIVISION will get themselves an Aegis. There will be no contest here from the side of Liquid. This will be an Aegis to work with, and maybe immediately a smoke out. Does anybody... Ducalis has 3 smokes ready to go, so they could smoke right out of Roche and maybe look for some sort of kill. Instead, they'll find Saberlight. Their dust is ready. There's the Blink, Hoof Stomp, Tame the Beast combo. And Saberlight, who's playing up in the face of this Monkey King, ends up dying for it. And Satanic's looking for Insania, who's trying to juke around the trees. Will attempt to TP out, and will be successful in doing so. Satanic immediately to the TP to the top lane and kill off a creep wave and continue to get a whole bunch of farm.
Is under attack.
They don't want to use this Aegis immediately. They want to use it to pressure the map slightly more. Go and try to find some of the kills. Okay, straight into MKB. Knows that he needs that. I mean, you are playing into Phantom Assassin, so either you buy MKB or you need to start building your Bloodthorn. Didn't even finish off his Hurricane Pike. Boxy's in trouble again.
Yeah, Wheel of Wonder with the Wukongs, Tame the Beast. No one gets a kill there. Both him and Centaur, obviously Centaur has the help of the Shard, starting to catch up a little bit in terms of farm, but they've got the Epicenter on a no-one, as well as the right-click damage with the Metamorphosis from Mickey. And Nisha,
Can he get out? He has
good for a
Shard.
kill on the back line. The Sonic Wave is used, and no one and Ducalis both die.
Radiant's middle
Nisha
tower is
getting
under
the solo kill on Ducalis. Solo XP as well on him. They need to bring the numbers if they want to be taking these type of fights. Everybody else, Venomancer, he still continues to jungle, still playing like a core. We saw a very greedy build yesterday on his Thinker, Kaya, Aghanim Scepter, Blink Dagger. This time around, he's still staying ahead of his Centaur, even though he picked up Shard. He got that extra 1,400 gold. DM, Link Sacrificial, rest of the team is right behind him, or what's left from the team.
top tower has fallen.
And he's played all this time sacrificially, but he's right there with Monkey King and Veno. I know he got the Shard help, but even then,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
he's keeping it close, which is a bit of a surprise and maybe a telltale sign of something that may be going wrong for PARIVISION in terms of their net worth on their other cores.
Three of those cores are very close to each other. We'll see if this is going to be good, because a lot of the times you see Satanic, he has the most farm throughout the whole game. No one compared this network to his previous game, where he would be keeping up with Satanic, but this time around he's getting shut down. Queen of Pain got his number. Every single time that he did die, it was Queen of Pain getting involved.
Boxy runs into Satanic. Now they've got the Burrow Strike. He has that Glimmer Cape. He does have that Aegis. They'll stampede for some distance. Doesn't look as though they want to go. I thought maybe with the smoke they might turn around and try to fight, but they're without the Monkey King. There's a smoke used by Liquid, so they're the ones searching. Boxy in the vicinity here with Saberlight as well as Insania. Now Nisha joins the smoke. They find the Monkey King. Bro, strike Wheel of Wonder. It's getting
Nisha's
killed with
in.
Sonic Wave, so
No one
now
out.
no one's already dead. But PARIVISION, are they still willing to fight? Shadow Strike on a DM. He'll pop that Blade Mail, and instead, Liquid, they've made the distance, and there's not really much of a chase from PARIVISION.
No one again getting isolated. He, like, either 9 class needs to be close to him, or he needs to be close to 9 class so he can get his mech, pipe, solar crest on top of him. Just so that he has extra bit of survivability. It does feel like he needs extra bit of oomph just so that he can survive. But speaking of survivability, Satanic about to finish off his big item, SNY Satanic. This is the combination. Doesn't have status resistance on Satanic like it did. This was the very deadly combination a couple of years back. You're still getting status resistance from SNY, but it's not 40+% that we did have.
Game stayed close though, and with this fight, it'll get even closer. Escape back to Epicenter, and eventually a dead Ducalis. MKB almost finished on Terrorblade, and that's a point where, truth be told, I think Liquid are the ones in the driver's seat of the game, because they can now really reliably go after this Phantom Assassin. And that becomes a bit of an issue. You've only got 24 seconds left on this Aegis, and you got what out of the Aegis? 2 kills?
Yeah. And you lost no one, I believe, 2 times. Lost your supports multiple times.
And if I had to think about it, I almost want to say they only lost Boxy when they were doing this. Don't have
no one.
Control.
He jumped away on a different tree. They wanted to close the gap, Stampede, but still not. This would have been a massive kill. Nisha's worth a lot of gold.
Amplify damage from Ike, and they get the Queen of Pain out. They'll have Epicenter up in 40. Probably smoke when around the time that's back up, or even just look to fight. Doesn't always require a smoke, and Boxy looking for a power shot for some information and continue to maybe chase and look for a Centaur lockdown. They've got Crimson Guard on Centaur. Almost the Guardian Greaves for...
It's getting delivered on the Courier
Venomancer. There it is, yeah.
So pretty much they have all the auras, except for Vlad's.
And another kill under Ducalis. He's having a similar game to what Boxy had in the previous one. They're still looking. Randomage just comes through, though, on a DM. He'll pop that Blade Mail, soak some damage, as well as get that Guardian Greaves popped out. But now no one pushed out of the circle. And they've got the Burrow Strike to follow it up. There's the Global Silence. So you don't have the Hoof Stomp follow-up. Satanic looking to put the damage out on a Saberlight. Gets a big-time hit. 1,700 to wipe Saberlight out of the fight. And now, who else can he go for? DM's already dead. The Gale Force pushing them back. They go to the Wheel of Wonder. But Mickey, he's not taunted, and they've got themselves the Shackle Shot on Ducalis. He'll end up dead for the second time.
Very nice spell layering from Team Liquid. Going in, waiting with that Global Silence. And again, Monkey King, he just can't get multiple round of abilities. He goes in with his Wukong's Boundless Strike, gets pushed out, but thanks to his Wukong's Fateful, that Wukong's gonna stay on the ground, but still unable to deal as much damage as he would like to. Nisha's doing a lot of work, blinking in, knowing that he has Saberlight to back him up, that he potentially has Sunder as well, if necessary, and also Burrow Strike. He goes in, even with that pipe, no one's still gonna die.
Yeah, they were able to take him out. Sonic Wave doing a lot there. Satanic, he's trying to find his entry point into the fight. It's not that easy. He doesn't have a BKB. He wants to get an MKB of his own. But when you don't have that BKB protection and everybody else is kind of melting around you, you don't have the confidence to make that jump in. He still is top of the net worth by about 1,000 gold. But the big drop-off after Queen of Pain is very apparent.
It definitely is. And this game reminds me a lot when PARIVISION played yesterday against Aurora Gaming. That first game where they were so ahead and then they stopped playing the Dota completely. They kind of got shut down where no one, he was 5-0-6 on Ember Spirit and didn't get a single kill for good 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, he had that good early game. But PARIVISION, they just didn't have anything more. The gas tank ran out early. Saberlight now getting that shard as they take the Tormentor at 28 minutes, almost 29 minutes. And the Dota Plus win probability at 60-40, and Roshan at that moment does respawn. So let's see, because, I mean, it is still anybody's game. It is that even. I want to see who ends up getting this Roche as Satanic now breaks the 20K threshold.
A little surprised they didn't go for Roche play. This is something that a lot of the teams do in this meta. Where you see enemy team going for Tormentor, you know that they're going to be relatively low HP. There's no real sustain, no Earn, no mech, nothing on side of Liquid. And Liquid, they're drawing on a minimap.
Let's see who they can find. As they are split up on the side of PARIVISION again. Ducalis trying to find some place to get some vision down. He's got 2 wards to work with. He wants to buy a gem. Meanwhile, you see Nisha here was queuing up an Ags, BKB for Saberlight. They smoke up as a group, but these heroes are split up from PARIVISION right now. If you find one, that might just be all it is. And it might be 9 class. Venomous Gale used. Boxy there with the
Greaves
out of Atos. Guardian Greaves comes through. Shackle, but they've got the Stampede for some help. He runs it all the way away. And Roche is coming bottom.
He's worth a lot of gold. That kill, but seems like they don't want to take this fight right now. So let's see who's going to be picking up that Aegis, whether they want to give it to Mickey. He's transformation hero, so maybe Nisha's going to be the one picking it up, and he's also closing to his Aghanim Scepter. This is going to be pretty massive.
Big surprise. PARIVISION just not contesting this Roshan. Nowhere near the pit. I mean, they are farming. They are trying to get some more gold under their belt and get these next items. But their lineup gets enabled very much so by controlling these objectives. And they fail to hold that down. Little silence comes through. 3 heroes are here for PARIVISION, but the Gale Force making things so difficult. Immediately the TP, but the Rod of Atos comes in. They go to the escape back. Ducalis is going to be dead. Shackle connects onto them both. Perfect here from Boxy. Ducalis and no one are gone. DM is next on the list, and it is falling apart for PARIVISION.
When is the last time we saw PARIVISION bring the whole team? Every single time, it's like 2 heroes on the other side of the map, and they're not playing together. This is a good attempt on paper, but also knowing that Global Silence is up, he's gonna click that button. And what's the counterplay? There's no BKB on Monkey King. There's no Lotus Orb on Centaur.
Finding another. Epicenter. Burrow Strike is in. They pop the pipe, the Guardian Greaves, the Venomous Gale, but 9 class is dead. A power shot from Boxy confirms it. So just Satanic is alive, and one by one, they continue to end up getting killed here.
Insania. They saw him for a second.
Out of Atos and a jump forward. That is at least another kill for PARIVISION. They finally find something on the map.
They really didn't get the value out of this Glimmer Cape. I thought that they were going to be fighting much earlier with the Glimmer Cape, try to put the extra bit of a pressure, especially with the lead that they did have. And now, Sanking's fully online, so is Terrorblade. Nisha on Queen of Pain. He's having a blast of a game. We'll pop that ulti just to get an extra bit of a farm with level 20 talent, minus 45 seconds cooldown. Brings it down to 35, I believe.
You saw the queue for Satanic. It was BKB into Divine Rapier.
We've seen so many attempts where PA is like, this is the item. If I don't buy the item, I don't have the chances of winning the game. So let's see if he decides to actually get BKB or if he opts to go for Divine Rapier immediately. Can sell his treads. He can sell this Glimmer Cape.
If he wants to sell the Glimmer. Not getting all the value, like you said. It's an item that you buy on Phantom Assassin to fight early. They didn't really do that. They only have 13 kills, and there's the big item for Liquid. Refresher Orb for this Silencer.
This has to be. I'm just going to throw it out there. This has to be the fastest Refresher that we've seen so far on Silencer.
I probably agree. I mean, Boots of Speed, Solar Crest, Refresher Orb. The only one who would get it faster is somebody having a great game. Boots Refresher. Shackle connects. Ducalis is dead again. 9 times. And he is just emulating what Boxy had done to him in game number 1. He is constantly getting caught, except I will say he's got a little bit more net worth. He's got that Rod of Atos. He's got that Shard for the Spotlight.
Dire's top
That's the
tower
big one.
is under
Spotlight is very good against TB and his illusions. He also has Manta style, so illusions are dying relatively quickly.
Stampede Shackle connects. They are not going to get DM out of this. He is dead once again, and they are just never together here for PARIVISION. They have been grouped up on Liquid for what feels like the last 15 minutes.
I don't remember if we've seen PARIVISION bring 5 heroes to even one of the fights in a 35-minute game. Satanic also realizing that that Glimmer Cape wasn't really doing much, sells it, buys a BKB, and now he's trying to farm Divine Rapier. Still very far away from it.
Dire's bottom
Needs
tower
basically 5,000 gold, sells the tread, so around 4,000 gold.
No one also going for a BKB.
It does feel like no one has been going for a lot of things in this game. Playing from behind like this. There's a massive difference, as you said, between the cores, because Centaur and Monkey King are sitting at 13, 14,000, and then you have... Ooh,
Oh,
they get him. Any kind of a kill.
they're baiting. No one in 9 class. They're far out. They need to back up. The rest of the side of Liquid are coming over. Into the trees, the Gale Force, the Blink, 9 class just in time. The power shot thrown to potentially hit no one, but doesn't connect. Throwing a banner down onto the high ground.
Just for vision. Banner was so bad before that people actually used it as an observer ward. They dropped it in the middle of a fight. Get
This
any
might-
kind of value out of it?
Yeah. I was going to say this might recently be the banner that's furthest away from its objective. Still, though, Liquid, they've now got Mickey ahead of the Satanic. Obviously selling a lot of his net worth, or some of his net worth there. That might have given him that advantage. With the Glimmer and the Tread's gone. This is free gold, though. There it is.
They gave up. He gave up. After those couple of misses, Templar Assassin still needs a lot of gold for that Divine Rapier, but he's gonna TP in. Thinking that there's gonna be a high ground push from Team Liquid. For now, they're controlling the map. Gem available on Boxy, and he's also going for Nullifier. These position 4 players, they're realizing that if we are the ones getting Nullifier, our cores can go for different items. This is also not the item that you buy on Sanking, on TB, unless it's a position 4 or Queen of Pain.
9 class, he's got the gold for the Mystic Staff to get that at least, and now they'll find DM. Sonic Wave, Blade Mail not gonna matter, as they've used that Lotus Orb on him. Rana Betos locks down Saberlight. He's forced to pop that BKB.
I think they're fine with this trade, as long as they can get the Divine Rapier on Satanic, which he's getting relatively close to. Needs another 2,000 gold.
Stampede is down. Sonic Wave, not that long of a cooldown. Still needing a bunch of gold for this Divine.
Should have enough time to farm it.
9 class still needs 800 gold for this Hex. He's got the Mystic Staff on his courier. That's sitting in the secret shop. Satanic also level 25 now, but at the same time, 9 class, he's going to die. And because he bought that Mystic Staff, he doesn't have buyback.
Either you commit for a full item or you don't. Buying these components doesn't really do anything for him. And now Liquid will use this opportunity, saying that there's no Venomancer.
DM's in. Satanic goes forward. There's the Global Silence with the BKB, though. He's got the Lotus Orb.
Going for Mickey.
Oh, there's
Thunder
the
on
Thunder on
Insania.
Insania. Boundless Strike goes to the back line. Zogre Seal Totem to get out of the Wukongs. They'll look for the epicenter. It's the Burrow Strike that's not there just yet to lock down Satanic, who had that BKB now running out. Burrow Strike thrown onto no one. Sonic Wave escape back. They will retreat. They've still got everybody that was in that fight, with 9 class still a spectator to it all.
This is the first time we're seeing the power of PARIVISION's lineup, where they are using the spells together, and Mickey, that defensive Sunder, keeping him alive. Still showing he should be afraid of this Phantom Assassin, and this is pre-Divine Rapier. Nemesis Curse. He has Titanic once again as his enchantment. So extra attack damage, extra bit of status resistance.
Divine is close. Roche is up, by the way. Refresher Shard, Cheese. I mean, you do not want to give this up and give multiple global silences and multiple epicenters. Options there for Liquid on Roche, but now, as we watch Roshan leave from his natural habitat all the way down to bottom to make the journey to his other cove.
Well, sounds like I'm watching Natural Geographic.
Kinda are.
He's moving very slow.
Roche will use that time to wash himself as he has the river and the water. But he gets there and both teams are set, at least nearby, to go for this fight. Refresher Orb,
They're going all in. Divine
There's
Rapier,
Divine.
Hex purchased. They want to take this fight. They want to surprise them with two big items.
Yeah, the Hex and the Divine's big. They've got the Refresher Orb off cooldown, so they do have access to do two global silences. But you said it. The damage can be overwhelming if they get some big hits here.
He's also level 26, so -1 attack to trigger coup de grace.
Got rid of those boots.
Radiant's middle tower
And they
is
smoke up on both teams. They wrap
They can find the back line. If they can find this Silencer, who doesn't have buyback available, this could be pretty big. Nisha is scouting.
Yeah, Nisha was scouting, but the Monkey King was in the trees to break the smoke.
They know. Scan did connect there for a second.
They're wrapping all the way around, and these heroes for Liquid, they're in the triangle. And Senior might be the one who steps up. No double global silence could
That's
be huge.
the perfect target.
That's the one you want to get. They go to the Wheel of Wonder. Can they get the kill here onto the silencer? They'll look over, they get Insania. He doesn't have buyback. So now you do not have access to double global silence. She was in a blink off to the side out of the Wukongs.
They want to chase.
Ulti thrown from 9 class, and there's the there's the Gale Force to pull them back. Try to hold them away, but the Balance Strike jumps off to the other side. The BKB's going to be popped. Satanic goes in, huge numbers. Gets the kill on a Mickey. Now he looks at Nisha. He wants another one, but he can't quite get the kill. Saberlight gets the Collis. No one's going to fall. The epicenter's huge from Saberlight to at least start to salvage.
Picks up that invis, but massive kills. Insania, he was not with the rest of the team. Double global silence was not used in the previous fight. They definitely need that to be able to take that fight, but Satanic keeping his BKB for a very long time until he jumps Mickey, and then that explosive damage. Mickey couldn't even do anything. Used everything defensively. Moxie. Rest of the team, let's see how they approach this. Level 25 on Queen of Pain. That Sonic Wave deals tons of damage and relatively short cooldown. Nisha needs to find the angle.
Oh, yeesh. Huge numbers again.
And he got the Hex.
Oh dear,
Moxie
Nisha.
saving the day.
Sonic Wave, who gets the kill on a 9 class. The Shackle shot held 9 class in position. Satanic back in a Roche. There's the hoof stomp. Buyback from Saberlight. But he doesn't really have a spot to TP to. They'll get the kill on a Boxy. Roche is going to be killed. They get the Aegis on a Satanic. There's the Refresher Shard picked up as well. Cheese left to ferment in the pit.
Yeah, they're lactose intolerant. Nobody wants to pick it up.
Same.
Queen of Pain. I love the way Nisha's playing. He's playing assassin type of a game. Finds a really good angle with this explosive damage. This is also Dagon 4, about to be Dagon 5. Sonic Wave. It's an insane amount of damage. That's 1,200 damage just on Sonic Wave, which is pure damage.
Ooh. Putting up some PA-style numbers.
And then find the perfect combination of items. Ceremonial Robe and Timeless. So extra bit of spell amp, extra bit of debuff duration. This looks like from Tom and Jerry. The same cheese.
Do you have a good Tom scream? Such a classic.
Not really. Saberlight?
He bought back. You got to remember, he is in a fragile position. He bought back and really didn't have much impact into a fight. And it just puts him on the edge of really just, if he dies now with no BKB, he can't really feel confident too far out of the base. They have Refresher Shard in the backpack here for Phantom Assassin, while that Aegis is in the item pool for PA, going for Ag's Blessing.
Doesn't have a shard yet.
No, I was
which
thinking
is
the
a
same
big.
thing.
It is very big damage number. It is 28% of max HP.
It's like 700 damage. Satanic at the front lines. Helmet Arts lands on a boxy. He's forced to win run. Meanwhile, no one spots Saberlight, again, who just doesn't have BKB. He'll look to Epicenter. There's the Global Silence. BKB's been popped by no one, so he's able to just stand tall. Look for Saberlight, who doesn't have buyback, but here comes Nisha. Balance Strike to jump to the other side, and no one, he might have been found out. He can't get this kill onto the Sand King either. He's that close to putting him on a 2-minute timer, and high ground being that much easier to take.
That's gonna give Liquid extra 70 seconds. Aegis is gone in 2 minutes. It does feel like he needs extra bit of tankiness on Monkey King. He's just not tanky enough to survive throughout this burst. And it's starting to add up. He's really not having a game. 1, 9, and 6. Not usually where you see no one.
He could have had the cheese in his slot instead of the wand, but that cheese is still sitting in the pit. Might have been the difference maker if he could have had a nice slice. Heart for DM is on the docket, and 1:30 left, and they'll have a minute remaining on this Aegis when Monkey King is back up, and I don't know if that's going to be enough to pierce the high ground, which means the longer you hold on to this Divine Rapier, more things get a little bit dangerous, but they're still buying out. He bought out that at complete Ag's Blessing.
Wants to have as much damage, like anything that he can have, he's gonna have it on the hero. The spell is very nice. You're playing against Terrorblade, you're playing against Queen of Pain with Shadow Strike, Arcane Curse. You can't remove Global Silence because you're silenced anyway, but all these other things you can dispel, and your abilities are gonna reset. So you can blink in, get a kill, immediately jump to a different target.
Who's got their shard on PARIVISION? Mineclass doesn't have his, and PA doesn't have theirs. They could go get this Torm and look for a shard, but instead, they will make the jump through the Twin Gate. All of them. So they move over. They're looking for a Moon Shard on Satanic, anything they can build that's not going to take up these slots. But they've got 20 seconds on an Aegis that didn't really get used in a way that pushed more than just the Torm. And Satanic is the one who gets fortunate enough here, because 9 class...
Yeah, his shard is not very good.
But it was between that and him, and Satanic getting the 50-50 in his favor to get the Fan of Knives. Pop that Satanic back into the slot after losing this Aegis, and now you gotta wonder, are you holding on for 3 more minutes? Do you try to fight without the Aegis, or are you just trying to farm up these next items? Satanic, he wants an Abyssal Blade, but what do you slot out? Is it just the Battle Fury for the Abyssal Blade at that point?
He might. He can also disassemble S and Y, but probably wants to keep status resistance.
Balance Strike, Sonic Wave. They're trying to go. They go to the Global Silence, but now they'll get the kill on no one as well as Ducalis. It's Saberlight who's got the double kill. DM's in trouble. 3 heroes dead. Satanic's in. Another Global Silence. He doesn't have an Aegis. He's not going to have a Divine Rapier if he drops. He goes to the Fan of Knives. He's trying to make the jump, but the Barrel Strike doesn't land with the BKB still going. The Dagon is there, and he is that gone. Satanic is dead. Drops it, and is now gone for 96 seconds.
He needs 260 gold for buyback. They're immediately pick. Ducalis is on the bounty duty. He needs to go out and try to pick up some bounty runes, but there aren't any right now. So Refresher now on Sanking, they did a very good job. This explosive damage from Queen of Pain has been causing quite a few issues for PARIVISION throughout the whole game. 7,000 damage, and this was dealt in a matter of seconds.
They find 9 class. Everybody's got buyback who needs it at the moment.
It was an even game. Suddenly, 20,000 gold lead for Liquid.
Yeah, Divine
Rapier gone.
PARIVISION just not expecting a fight there. They didn't use the Aegis to take a fight. And then they just focused on Satanic and were able to get this kill into the Phantom Assassin, taking out Ducalis and no one just immediately.
35 seconds without PH. He does have buyback now.
Shoot another Divine.
Let's see how Liquid approaches this one. Whether they want to go for the tier 4s immediately. PARIVISION will glyph. Sania, another global silence in 10 seconds.
Melee racks, range racks go down if they push for more. There is another glyph available if they want to save these racks. They don't have to necessarily.
1 set, 2 sets, it's pretty much the same thing at this point of the game. 50 minutes in. Danik is out in 5.
Can't really fight without the PA, but they're going to start the fight. 9 Class is going to be the one who buys back. They want this Divine Rapier.
They got the
Hex.
Hex.
They go to the Sonic Wave. They've got the Hex. They have the damage making against the
got the Thunder.
Satanic's in. Does he have the damage numbers? The Phantom dives. The right clicks. He's
Needs one more hit.
Shot. Oh, he's going to heal off a little bit now.
Stealing.
Satanic is gone.
And that's game.
Oh dear. Satanic dies. GG is called. He holds onto the Divine, and we're going to a game 3.
That was so close. I'm not sure if DM had Lotus Orb available, because he got that Thunder off and the fight changed so much. If they get a kill there, I think that this could have been...
Definitely will, here with everybody who's in the audience watching along. Milo Costa, ready for a game 3. We always love a good game 3.
I swear I saw a Reddit comment that said something about Templar Assassin's third facet that it should be removed. Satanic getting initiated on. 9
Don't
class.
quite have the damage box.
He's
He's actually
body
the one in
blocking.
trouble.
Has
Almost
boots of
dying
speed,
there.
so we'll run away.
Everybody's so close to death, and Saberlight as well.
30 seconds to
He needed to back up onto the high ground. Everybody close to dying. So explain this to me. We barely see Hidden Reach.
Well, because the other facets are better. We saw...
Well, Fear goes, well, we don't see this facet because
It's hidden, that's why.
unique. And he stopped and had to get the word unique out there, but...
I'm never doubting 9
yeah.
class. I think in this one, he was asked, you ever played Templar Assassin before?
It's gonna work
If
here
the answer
for
was
First
yes,
Blood.
First Blood. Boots of speed, a lot of value. Managed to run away, and Insania is gonna give him the tip.
That was an easy kill there for 9 class, already making an impact. This mid lane, Kunkka kind of maybe expecting it was going to be, I mean, everywhere, honestly. I thought maybe Satanic was going to be willing to play it again. Nisha going to be up against it with this Pangolier. What's this matchup kind of look like?
He can trade. He did go for, of course, Thunderbolt Facet from the mid lane on Pango. Nisha putting quite a lot of pressure. Having that shield crash is very good for trading. We might see a kill here.
Could do. Body blocks are pretty on point. And uses
Missed that Tidebringer.
Doesn't land it at that moment.
He is level 2.
Ooh, Torrent. That connects. Nisha still
Crash.
going to be able to back off under the tower with the shield crash. Tidebringer available again in a moment. But not getting that full kill, and does have a full creep wave here under the tower.
There's another Torrent ready.
Where's he going to place it? Trying to feint it with the hand movement. That tell.
His
Doesn't
Rum.
quite get this kill, though.
His Rum got procced.
So that'll be on cooldown for a full minute. Maybe not as confident anymore without that. But 9 class, I'm interested to see the build that he wants to do on this TA. Along here with this Enigma.
What about Nullifier? What?
First item?
Yeah, it could happen. I mean,
Saberlight
usually
gonna
when he's
freeze
playing
over.
this Terrorblade, Saberlight's gonna die. When he's playing this DB position for Slark. We see drums, we see Yule Scepters from time to time. We saw Nullifier Rush on TV yesterday.
Nisha again. Quite low. Shield
He
crash
just got his
and...
bottle delivered. 9 class, it's a roaming TA.
Well, you're level 1. Is it?
But you have that reach.
You do, but when do you get to call it a roaming TA? The second he left lane, he's a roaming TA? Like, what is this?
He's involved in 50% of the kills so far. Managed to escape that twice. Pretty much in the, I would say in this meta, having Blood Grenade allows you to play so many of these heroes as a position 4 as well. Satanic, he's going in, and we'll get that kill. Level 3 on his Morphling.
This is kind of... Ooh, and they're going to give him a courier, too. This is kind of what we saw, I would say, game 1, where Satanic was fed a lot of kills and assists early on. And it was done so on a Kunkka, this time on a Morphling. But yeah, what were you saying other than Nullifier on 9 class first?
You could also go for traditional items. Pick up Hurricane Pike, try to scale a little bit more, hit them from the distance, hide in that meld.
Even in a support role, is this the only facet worth taking?
I don't think there's any other way around. It just gives you good laning stage. Like, it synergizes nicely with Eidolons, that extra bit of minus armor. Level 1 meld is minus 5 armor.
9 class sprouted, but goes after Insania. They've got the Malefice, so they've got some extra damage. The Meld Strike and another kill for 9 class.
That extra damage, extra minus armor with Eidolons, really making the difference. And I also think that Satanic shouldn't really die in this lane, not until Pango rotates. And it's also not the best hero to rotate because everything is physical from Pango. And we're talking about Morphling here, one of the highest armor heroes in the game. No one was forced to use X-Mark on Pango. You would love to use that X-Mark so that you can TP back and come back to the lane, but pretty even in terms of CS. And it is a roaming TA. Picking up a couple of bounty runes. Might even get the kill here.
Satanic aggressed on, and he doesn't have wave form, but Akalis is here with a cold feet on a Saberlight, and he wants to go and turn this around into a wave form. That might have been a bit of a mistake. Tower shot, and shifting into that Agi. Oh boy, this is dangerous. But the Cinder Brew won't matter, and now Saberlight ends up dead to Dakalis, who gets another cold feed out onto this Brewmaster.
Really pushing the limits.
Is 9 class just stacking here? Yeah. All right. The roaming TA is stacking. I like what we're seeing so far from him. And immediately he goes over to just mess with Insania.
Steals one of the Mad tokens. Mad Stone taken away.
This is looking so far like a really good lane, though, for the Enigma. At least in how open it is and how little damage he's taking. But he's only 19 and 6. I guess compare that to Saberlight. Overall, pretty even. Like you said, using that X, no one's going to go back to base. He'll heal up a little bit, come back over to mid. And the roaming TA comes over with a Meld Strike and a Tidebringer. All of a sudden, there is some pretty big damage coming through.
A lot of physical damage.
They are bringing a third hero. Nisha going to try and stick on to 9 class. They also bring over Mickey, and immediately they go for the TP. The snowball not needed. Nisha with the swashbuckle gets the kill onto this Templar Assassin.
Liquid understood what the biggest problem in this game is. This Templar Assassin position for level 2. They can't let it get out of control.
I laughed, but I don't know if you're serious.
I'm not.
Okay. I thought about it for a second. I was like, he might actually be serious. Mob's down here and searching maybe to see a rotation from the TA. I got a little freaked out. I saw TA at bottom 4 of the net worth, and I kind of forgot for a split second. Dakalis, he's been doing a lot of work with the cold feet. And Snowball now pulling in Saberlight, going on to this Ancient Apparition. They'll have an easy kill, but Saberlight, he was deep in a little bit for a second. Insania's here, so Satanic can't really commit anything further on to him.
There's no real protection from Morphling, so they find the opportunity. If they're full HP, they should be getting those kills on Ancient Apparition. He even threw a Blood Grenade, trying to get the kill for Morphling, but he alone does not have enough damage. And it seems like both XP Shrines will be taken by each team, and now rotation to Kalis will TP to the top lane. 1 CS, and he will have Black Hole available.
There it is. There's the level 6. Maybe they could find Mickey, who is by himself at the moment. Nisha going all the way back to base. Oxy kind of takes over mid for the time being. And no one, he's going up to top. He wants to have that X and make sure that they can keep a catch on a Mickey. 2 greater treants and the chase, but can they find this Nature's Prophet? Torrent's going to be well off the mark. Won't be spotted at all, and they've got the Ice Vortex down. They're looking for him, and he's just sticking around for a moment. The side of PARIVISION just don't really have a big idea on where he was.
Bringing in numbers, but not really doing much. 4 heroes. This tower's still gonna fall. Eventually, they took that tier 1 tower pretty early in game number 1. 7.5 minutes in. Still gonna do the same. And no one, he's sticking around. Level 1 X mark.
They start to turn this. They go to the Sprout. They've got
The wrong tree.
Primal Split, so 9 class. Ghost Ship comes in, drops over him, so he'll have a little bit of time here to try and survive.
Didn't reach. It's coming.
Taking some damage here to the March of the Machines. And now the Sprout, 9 class, they know. Goes back into the meld.
Sprout is ready in 2 seconds. Has another refraction, 10 stick charges. He's buying a lot of time.
Insania's looking for a high 5. He's got March in 6 seconds.
Box is coming, but he also doesn't have any reveal.
Oh, now he leaves. Got meld again. But the shards, the March.
400 on meld.
And now he's going to
deny
die neutral
himself.
creep. Okay. The 9 class. He's not the student. He's definitely the teacher of the class. I mean, that is a lot of time spent to just have him get denied by a neutral creep. Also, Saberlight getting the deny on the bottom tier 1.
Deny class. Yeah, he really denied himself there. And yeah, a lot of time bought. PARIVISION. Like, these games are becoming like very comedic.
I just need to know if 9 class is having a fun time.
Oh, for sure. He got the first blood. Satanic surrounded by 3 heroes.
But here comes no one. Torrent onto 2. Snowball, good avoidance of the Ghost Ship coming through. They've got the Thunderbolt facets.
Literally
so
0 damage
Thunder.
from Pango. All
Just
physical, reduced by both. So no real damage coming through. And Satanic, with Vlad's finished, he can definitely go back to full HP in the next 30 seconds or so. Haste on T8, level 4. He's playing these Vision heroes. He's playing Slark from position 4. He was also playing Zeus when Zeus was meta. So removing some of that vision and also providing vision for the team. He's in.
He has no cares. Haste and finds Insania and will help get this kill for DM Nisha's here, but he doesn't have Rolling Thunder. And now 9 class. This time he's dusted up. They're not going to let him do this more than once. But
you sure?
He'll well, Quelling Blade.
They have another dust on Saberlight.
Yeah, okay, there's no way, right? They just dust him again. Trying to get a Tendrils of the Deep help. Goes. There's no way he just continues to be able to run. All right, there's the dust, and there's another kill. But he dragged them all the way back to base. I mean, this is really tough for Liquid to get full value out of when you're getting this kill and just the map is wide open for everybody else on the side of PARIVISION.
And this is not honest Dota from 9 class. Look at
where Satanic is. Yeah, his heat map is roaming, as you would say.
A lot of time spent between tier 1 and tier 2 tower. in the outer ring.
Now they go for Satanic. They want to kill him. Nisha's even showing up. They've got Waveform in 2. Satanic waveforming, but not surviving Nisha right there. And the Ice Blast will, in fact, miss this Tinker.
Double Torrent in the mid lane. Both also connecting on both of them. Nisha has Rolling Thunder, has Shield Crash, so he should be fine.
That meld from so far away didn't really do much, but it is now level 3.
Very good items on TA as well. Orb of Venom, Quelling Blade. This is what you want to see, Sentry Ward. I think he bought that Orb of Venom not for the damage, but he also wants to have True Strike to deal with Brewmaster. He's a very slippery hero. Storm Brawler stance, having that evasion.
This facet's really... the more and more I read the TA facet, by the way...
Yeah, the more it doesn't make sense.
The more it just sounds like an innate. Like, there are facets that are just like, when it's nighttime and you're on the south part of the map, you do 30 more damage with the stun available.
Very specific, yes.
Yeah, but this one's just, you have 400 more range in meld. Like, that really does feel like an innate. DM's got a smile. Going for a Ghost Scepter. We saw this a lot yesterday. A lot of Ghost Scepters. Becoming a very popular item.
Radiant are scanning.
9 class really bought a lot of time there. I mean, this is a 5k gold lead. Problem with Liquid's draft is you have Nature's Prophet who steals a lot of that, and you also have Tinker.
X,
big
Ice
combo.
Blast, and a Ghost
Easy
Ship
to
to
execute.
kill. Swashbuckle and a Snowball, and they might be leaving Ancient Apparition for dead. The defense matrix was, I believe, put on a boxy for a split second, but he ends up able to walk away due to that. Throw down the Cinder Brew. Satanic still here. Saberlight doesn't have a lot of mana, and now they've got the X. He has Blade Mail on no one if they start to chase him, and he'll pop it when they use that.
No
Inhibit with the Diffusal Blade.
He's a real hero. They can focus him down.
Even Primal Split, the waveform across, and all of a sudden, Saberlight needs to be very careful. 9 classes here with the Meld Strike. It did exactly what you would expect it would. As the Walrus Punch puts him up into the air, they've got Dust ready for him again, and Satanic's still working on these heroes. DM comes over, they've got the Malefice on Anisha, they get the kill here onto the Pangolier.
Four-staff Black Hole ready.
He needs to back away. 4-staff Black Hole. What do they have to stop it? Laser Shards. Ice Blast again for the second time this fight. Snowball lands on a DM. They've got Saberlight in on the Ice Blast. Shatter potential,
alive,
and they will get the kill onto the Brewmaster.
Ooh, I want to see the damage coming out from him. He's level 12. Mickey is level 9. Massive difference. Mickey just back-to-back deaths. 4,000 damage coming out from him. This was a minute-plus fight.
He had 2 Ice Blasts. That was to start the fight. This is working out so far for PARIVISION. They still want this Radiance on no one. And he is level 11. He finds Insania, pops the Blade Mail.
Collect the Goblins.
Insania takes some damage off that. Not really going to matter all too much. He'll TP back to base.
Goblin these. He's trying to deal as much damage as possible with that Blade Mail, but wasn't able to catch him with X-Mark. 3 points in it, and also 3 points in Torrent, which is not what we see usually. That 1 extra point in X-Mark brings it down from 18 to 12 seconds, and also the cast range increased by 150.
Looking at Ancient Apparition, who got that shard, by the way. No one gonna die here. Ghost Ship a little
so
late.
quickly. All that minus
And the
armor,
Ice Blast.
Orb of Blight, all that physical damage, tag team as well. The heroes are gonna die. You can't be deceptively tanky. Insania getting caught.
He'll try to TP out, but the waveform from Satanic is enough to get the kill here onto the Tinker. They're also looking to take this stack. I look at 9 class and wonder if he could.
Radiant's top tower.
Dust used just in case.
They have no silences, no real stuns other than Pango, which is not that good enough against Morphling. So he can get the shift off, and we'll
Primal split.
need to use the split immediately.
Enigma's nearby, doesn't have a black hole, but Satanic, like you said, they don't have a lot of lockdown for him, so he is kind of slippery and survivable in fights like this. They go to the Rolling Thunder with the Thunderbolt fast, so he's coming around and around and around again, and they'll get the kill to DM, but they'll end up losing Boxy. Now they look over at Nisha as this Thunderbolt Rolling Thunder is going to end in a moment, but he goes to the Swashbuckle, and they've got the cold feet, they have the X, and they'll pull him back. They missed the torrent, but it doesn't look like it'll matter. Satanic with the waveform, and they get the kill on Anisha.
They're playing so aggressively across the map, stealing some of the stacks from Team Liquid. This Morphling, he has a pretty free reign. There's nothing that he needs to be careful about. In fights like this, he's going to be collecting 20 Magic Wand charges easily, has Manta Style already, so that's going to be his survivability as well. It's not like they have silences. Saberlight, he's getting close to Radiance, but this is also going to be very delayed Radiance.
He's got the same amount of gold, though, as No One. So they're both going into Radiance, and No One just bought his Sacred Relic. So the Radiance timing is going to be a little bit similar between the two teams.
Difference is No One has full Blade Mail, so that's extra 2,000 gold on top of it.
And with the fact that you were talking about it, they don't really have a lot of lockdown here on Liquid. If No One could survive for a long amount of time, all of a sudden that Radiance Burn is just burning and burning, and Satanic, who's in these fights, not getting caught at all, has just free reign to do whatever he wants.
Extra minus armor.
Thank you, TA. It is the TA lineups that usually go for this, Roche.
Has nothing to do with the facet that she does have, but it is helping out.
Aegis for Satanic. And 9 class is, what, going for that Hurricane Pike? He's got the Dragon Lance, but now he's queued up the Shard. He wants to have that silence, which could be very impactful in these fights pre-BKBs. Or even with BKBs, honestly. You know, we talked about it with the TA before when these traps with the silence maybe force out earlier BKBs in a fight. And with how long we've seen that PARIVISION could sustain, you really need to try and be patient for Liquid with a BKB if you've got one. May not be possible. They pressure up to the tier 2 tower, immediately stopping that TP.
They don't want to make the same mistake. They had all this advantage in game 2, and they kind of didn't capitalize on it. They were staying 5-6k gold ahead, and then stopped playing the game, allowed Team Liquid to recover, and I feel like this time around, they don't want to make the same mistake. No One gonna cut the creep wave with that Radiance. Pretty much everything dies in a matter of a second. They're not fight ready on Team Liquid, so they're trying to dodge the fights. We've seen, I think it was Mickey who was creep skipping as well, so you can use that Mjolnir that is finished onto Greater Treant, you TP, and then you TP out with your town, with the TP scroll, so you can have something to deal with the creep wave. Mickey getting caught again.
Yeah, they've got the X into the Ghost Ship. They don't even need the Ice Blast there. And Nisha forced to Rolling Thunder TP away. They get the kill on the Nature's Prophet. That's really all they need. Usually it's what? One Melt Strike, you kill a creep wave, but we're not really seeing that with the TA right now.
No.
It takes a little bit longer. And Saberlight moving up towards Satanic, but he does not care. And now the Primal Split, you know it's on. But there is an Ancient Apparition top. He's going to throw the Ice Blast coming through, but as he reeled him in long enough.
Ravaged.
Yeah,
Brokers.
Tendrils of the Deep, but not too much to worry about. They've got the X. They'll pull back Boxy. He's got the Defense Matrix on for a moment, but the Matrix doesn't last long enough, not once, not twice, and Boxy's going to end up dying here to this Morphling, who they just do not have enough control on.
Insania's out of
try
mana.
And kill him off, which means Insania's next. Satanic looks for more. 9 class gets credit for the kill, and Satanic says Duraccio mode, guys.
He really is playing like that, going in, and I swear that players are getting better at using Croakers. They see Croaker camp when they're trying to run away, immediately go into the camp, try to buy a little bit more time. Let's see if they're going to be pushing the high ground. There is only one tier 2 tower left in the bottom lane. Satanic holding the Aegis, 2 minutes left.
Croakers are the best camp in the game right now, and teams are potentially formulating plans around it. It's Big lead for PARIVISION. 21 minutes into the game, they are pushing the high ground. Doesn't look like they're going to be contested all too much, and honestly, they might be one fight away from sealing the deal here into a grand final.
Foxy gets the deny.
They're trying to take out the Aegis, but haven't been able to do so. They go for 9 class. He melts for a second before step back. Voids the shards too. No one went to the bottom lane.
Now, this is a very good scaling lineup. They have 11,000 net worth lead 21 minutes into the game. But also, Tempo Assassin, she's going to start to scale. He's building into carry/mid items, going for Hurricane Pike. Has shard available, which is going to be very good ways of dealing with Brewmaster if you need that silence. Great against Pangolier as well. McKay, he needs his defensive item. He gets initiated on by X-Mark into boat combo plus AA ulti. He dies every single time.
And he wants this BKB, but again, if you get hit by this silence, you might be forced to pop it early, and they want to go get 9 class. They'll commit onto this kill. Show how easy it is to kill a support Templar Assassin. At least this time they show how easy it is. 30 seconds left on this Aegis. Looks like it'll just be Satanic moving to bottom, pushing out the lane. But
is under attack.
overall, I mean, it's a good Aegis. They broke the high ground. If they can grab the second one, they're probably in a good position to just kind of end the game with the way that it's going at the moment.
Controlling the whole map. Farming. Satanic did die that one time, but after that, didn't die a single time. Level 17 on Morphling.
He's at his average deaths. Not exactly, but he's under. If he goes and dies again, it'll be over. So you got to expect that this guy's going to find a way not to die anymore. And they get the X on this tanker. I mean, Insania tries to get away, TPing back home. But he's forced staff forward by DM. And then he's able to get the X from no one onto the Tinker. So they are flowing together on all cylinders.
And I'm looking at no one. He wants to take this camp in the top lane. He does not want a lane to be pushed. Immediately kills it. And they're gonna go from the mid lane to the top lane.
Again, go for this center axe. And will anybody be here to stop him? This time not working with the Aegis. But not looking like it's going to matter as he gets that melee racks and then backs out with the waveform. They just make it look like there's not much to worry about. McKay now does have the BKB. But again, these fights have been so long that you gotta hope you can finish a fight within those first 9 seconds. And I just don't know if from Liquid's standpoint, if that's possible.
Hit and reach, doing too much in these prolonged team fights.
All hit and reach.
2 big items. BKB completed, and also Butterfly about to be done on him. Needs another 150 gold. Has camps available in the triangle. BKB as well on Enigma. Nothing to really stun him, so if he goes in with the BKB and Black Hole, Team Liquid gonna be pretty cooked.
They'll find 9 class, but he goes to that rage strike. Ghost ship coming in. Black Hole committed. They'll get the kill here on Anisha. He's got buyback. Might be forced to use it immediately. Here comes the Ice Blast. And Saberlight
are dying.
Yeah, there's 4 quarters of him, but they have drawn and quartered him as they will eventually get this Saberlight Brewmaster frozen over, but they just need the damage to get this kill. Satanic got the kill on Amike. They'll look over at Insania. Down he goes for a double, and another cold feet, and a sprout around Saberlight. It's a triple for this Morphling.
This game might just be it. They are unable to get anything done. There was also no BKB from Nature's Prophet, and with Vlad's, you have more than enough damage. Kunkka has almost 300 damage just by having Radiance, by having Vlad's. They're gonna be able to clean up. There's also top lane where he's pushing with Greater Treant. He turned into a monster himself.
Tier 4s next on the menu. They started with the appetizer of the laning stage, went into the soup, and now they're into the main course. looking to finish off this series and get into the grand final. Senior. Ice Blast coming through, but not going to land. Now the TP attempt.
Didn't channel that hidden reach. That's why X mark, he got him.
Oh, brought him all the way back. X is on point. And now they'll push through bottom. There's a tier 2 here, and there's Roche spawning in what I could say looks like about 1 minute and 10 seconds on that clock. But Liquid are here and unfortunately empty-handed. This tier 2's not really got much time to last. They could push this, go for Megas, force it out. I mean, Megas this early in the game, who do you really have to defend it?
Not much. Your heroes don't really deal well with it. Sure, you have Tinker, you have Nature's Prophet, but Mjolnir, but this is 28 minutes we're talking about. Satanic, he's ready to go.
They all TP in a trap, silencing up Nisha immediately. A torrent there to bump Boxy into the skies. I mean, they're thinking about chasing, but you don't really have that option available. 9 Class even going to walk forward to them, and then the shards are off the mark. They actually block Nisha. Ducalis even giving him a tip mid-fight. 9 Class back in the refraction. They're looking for the snowball, but it's on a DM. Ice Blast comes through. That's going to be through onto the Pangolier. They get the kill on Nisha. They'll look over as they're starting to rip apart Saberlight with the BKB being popped by Mickey. Black Hole is there. Mickey is dead, and this is going to be 2 gone on the side of Liquid, and they still want more. PARIVISION see it all, and they'll see themselves into the grand final as Liquid call GG, and it's a 2-1 for the side of PARIVISION.
What a performance from PARIVISION. Flexing this Temporal Assassin, you can't spell 9 Class without ass. This guy is